Hey folks, this is Mike Tholfsen from the Microsoft Education team, and I'm with you for the Remote Learning with Microsoft EDU webinar. And I work on the education team. We've been doing these webinars quite a bit, and today is a very special day because you can see my wave in the background. I hope we're going to ride the Wakelet wave. It's partners today. We've got great partners. So we've got Wakelet, Teijas from Wakelet, and in addition, I've got my rockin' Buncee themed color hat that I'm going to wear briefly. I'm not really a hat person, but I am for Buncee. So I've got the blue, I've got the orange, we've got Francesca from the Buncee team, and it should be a lot of fun today on the webinar. So just before we kick it off, the links to get started, we've got the main Microsoft Education Remote Learning site. We've got the Teams for Education Quick Start Guide, lots of great tips on getting up and running quickly. And then we always encourage you to join the Microsoft Education Remote Learning community. And that is something that's been going for over a month now. We have thousands of educators from all around the world collaborating, communicating, getting tips and ideas from each other. And the Microsoft Education team, myself and many others, are in that community every day to help give support, answer questions, and help people get up and running. So for today's updates, you might see a theme. So we want to encourage everyone to check out the Wakelet that is put together. It's like a Wakelet about Wakelet for remote learning, a little bit of inception going on in that one. So they've got a great ton of resources curated because that's what they are rocking and rolling at, is curation of content. There's also a great Buncee for remote learning, and maybe Francesca will show us a little bit about that as well. And since, we're going with the themes, I figured I'd put my own, I created a Wakelet of Wakelets, which is really all of the Microsoft products. So Teams, OneNote, Inclusive Classroom, Forms, Sway. I had a Wakelet for each of those, and I put them together in one big master Wakelet that has everything you'd need for professional development and learning and blogs, tips, etc. So those are our three resources. And we are going to kick it right over to Teijas here from the Wakelet team. And I met Teijas, you're not going to believe this, Teijas and I met over Twitter. And we met, gosh, Teijas, I can't remember how long ago, maybe a year or more. But we worked together on the very early OneNote integration with Wakelet, and then the Immersive Reader integration with Wakelet. And then Teijas worked with the Teams group and Justin to do the awesome Teams integration. So Microsoft, we're big fans of Wakelet. I love the product. And Teijas, I'm going to kick it over to you and unshare my screen and let you share yours.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mike. No, likewise, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you and team at Microsoft EDU. It's been a year. I think it's been exactly a year now since we first got in touch on Twitter. But it's been an absolutely amazing journey. So let me just get my screen up. So hopefully everyone is able to see my screen now. I just give it a few seconds, I guess.
There we go.
Yeah. So hey everyone, Tejas here. As Mike's given an intro already, I am from the Wakelet team and currently head up this dev. Before I start off, I'd like to say a big thank you to Mike and team for having us on the webinar today, and also would like to shout out to the entire education community really for coming together during this unprecedented time and really supporting all of the students. I'd like to also let you know that after the webinar and after I've done with my bit, please don't hesitate to get in touch with any of us at the Wakelet team. So you can get in touch with me on Twitter, or you could also get in touch with any of the other people in our team via email or on Twitter as well. We are more than happy to support in any way possible. So to start off, Wakelet is a free platform that allows you to save, organize, and share content from across the web. So this can be showcased in a few steps. So to start off, we allow you to really bookmark content. So you can bookmark links, articles, videos, tweets, anything really with a URL into a space that we call a collection. You can then curate this content. So you can organize it to make sense, add images, text, and organize it into sort of a format that tells a story. It can be, for example, a bunch of resources on a homework topic area, or it could also be a bunch of resources to showcase as an upcoming assignment to students. You can then collaborate on these collections that you've created. So you can actually then have a group collection where one or more people collaborate, add items, and items, as I said previously, are links. They can be OneDrive files, they can be Flipgrid videos. I'll take you all through this in a bit. But yeah, you can add items from the web and further, so a PDF file as well, and then share it with your classrooms, either via the Teams or straight into OneNote. And I'll take you through this in a bit as well. So essentially, the issue that we're trying to solve is to provide a single platform that really focuses on allowing people to easily organize, present, and share content from the web. So there isn't one platform that does all of this, and we really think Wakelet is able to provide its most value in this functionality. So over here on the screen, you see some of our educators really showcasing their love for Wakelet and how they find use for it in the classroom. And I'm sure when all of you give it a go, you will find great use in it as well. We have a very rapidly growing education community in over 128 countries. And we are so lucky to have such passionate educators use Wakelet and really give us feedback on the things they'd like to see. In fact, we listened, one of the initial integrations that I worked with Mike on, the OneNote integration, was also thanks to Becky Keane, who actually shouted out saying, hey, Wakelet, hey, Mike, could we have Wakelet and OneNote integration? And so we always do a sort of feedback loop with our users in the education community where we can give them the most value possible. And we have a community, a vast community growing, and I will share the link straight after the webinar where you can actually enroll to the community and get all of the benefits like keeping in touch with us, trying out products or integrations or new features before they're released, and give us your feedback. We're always looking to improve the platform, and your voice is very strong. So in the midst of course, these unprecedented times that we've been living in, we've created a specific set of tools to really help educators cope with their remote learning needs. And these are a few links that I've left on the slide, but I'd also like to take you through them on the actual web. So over here, you can see, let me try putting this down here. Right, so over here, you can see the Wakelet Surf School. The Surf School is essentially a space that we created to allow educators to go through Wakelet on a step-by-step basis. So you can see over here, you can start off by creating resources for your classroom, lesson planning. You go a step further, you can start creating newsletters and interactive lessons. And we call a pro surfer somebody who uses Wakelet to collaborate with their classroom and students. So I have a few examples here that I've pulled up. And this essentially is what a collection looks like in Wakelet. You can see over here that this particular educator has created a lesson plan for her students, and she's added text. She's also added a link to her Flipgrid, so where students can go in and add their own videos. She's also added questions that students can answer. So like I said, this could also be a group collection, for example. Secondly, we have also resource sharing. So sharing resources, especially during this time where remote learning has become such a big topic, is crucial because teachers no longer have the ability to maintain physical contact with their students, and hence the real power of teachers curating content specifically for students on certain topic areas is essentially what Wakelet's being used a lot for nowadays. So you can see over here that the teachers created a topic area on biology, and she's added in content from YouTube. And just an FYI, all the content plays straight inside of Wakelet. So if I click on the little play button here, it'll actually start playing the video inside of Wakelet, which is great. I'm going to skip this step because of a lack of time, but yeah, you can play all of your videos inside of Wakelet. You also see that she's sort of left like these fill in the blank text boxes where students can then collaborate and add their own answers. And you also see the Immersive Reader icon here, which I will expand on when we go a little further. And as you can see, also there's a few links over here where of articles perhaps that the teacher has added in for his or her students. And you can also add images, which I will show in the upcoming examples. So this is a great example again of a teacher sharing a bunch of resources with her students. And this is sort of an example of showcasing certain pictures. And actually, it's a great mix of organic content that the teacher has actually taken from the classroom or beyond and added into a collection. You can also see over here that the teacher has recorded a Flipgrid video actually instructing her students on what they should do inside of this Wakelet collection. Similar to these examples of user cases, we have also the collaboration example. So if you remember, I said the Pro Surfer, which is the final level on the surf school, is actually an educator who's able to create a collection and share it with her or his students for them to collaborate and submit stuff. So this is a great example of Deborah. Shout out to Debbie, who basically shared a collection with her students, and all of them can basically add in all of their content straight in. You can see that the students have added loads of Buncee files, and of course, Francesca will take you through this further on. We also have a resource for our integration with Microsoft Teams. So over here, you can see that we've created a collection where a lot of our educators have actually come together and showcased how they're using Wakelet alongside Microsoft Teams. Again, the link is on the slide, and I would urge all of you to go here and check out these cool Flipgrid videos of education community really express how they're using Wakelet in Teams. It's amazing. It's really, really inspiring. And let's go back to this now. So now all of the integrations that I very sort of briefly mentioned, I'd like to take you through them really quick. So we've got multiple integrations with Microsoft. So you can sign up to Wakelet.com with your Microsoft accounts, which makes the process really seamless and easy. And of course, like I mentioned over here, at the very beginning, we had the Onenote integration. So, and obviously shout out to Becky Keane for starting this whole conversation off. So the whole context of the Onenote integration is when a teacher does create resources to share with his or her students, they can then share it into a Onenote notebook with their students by simply copying a public or unlisted Wakelet collection that they have created, or perhaps their colleagues have created, and pasting it into OneNote. Secondly, we have the Teams integration. So the Teams integration is essentially quite similar in its nature. We allow you to open up a team tab inside of a channel. So you can actually open up a collection as a tab and pin it to your channel and showcase that as a bunch of resources for students, or perhaps an assignment topic area that they'd like to do research on. We also have the Share to Teams extension where you can share a collection as an assignment inside of Teams. So these are briefly the user cases that I mentioned before in the Surf School that have actually been adapted to the Teams environment. So you can create an individualized playlist inside of Teams. You can create a class newsletter and share it into your Teams channel, or you can, like you can see over here, create a resource collection on an upcoming science project and share it straight in. So now, of course, one of the most popular integrations on Wakelet has been the Immersive Reader, and we really love it. It's really changed the way content is consumed on Wakelet inside of a collection, because through the Immersive Reader, we've had non-native speakers accessing content shared by educators in the US, perhaps, and able to really consume and understand what they're trying to express. So the Immersive Reader can be used on all text inside of Wakelet, but also what I didn't have the time to show you is any article inside of Wakelet collection can be opened up and the Immersive Reader's power can be applied to it. It's called the read mode feature, and it's essentially a deeper integration of the Immersive Reader. And I'm sure you'll all absolutely love it if you give it a go. And finally, we have the content pieces that you can actually add into Wakelet. So we have the OneDrive integration where you can actually upload any documents from your OneDrive account straight into wakelet.com. And this takes care of the privacy setting and everything else. So you just need to click on the little OneDrive icon there and add your content straight into Wakelet. We also have the Flipgrid video Shots video integration, which I did showcase very briefly, where teachers have actually used it to showcase certain instructions to their students or perhaps even their colleagues and saved it straight into Wakelet. So we actually have, if I go back by one slide, the Flipgrid button over here, and you can just click on it and record a video, trim it, and actually add it straight into a collection. And this is a single sign-on that I mentioned earlier. And if you'd like more information on sort of a step-by-step basis on learning Wakelet, you can always go to the Microsoft Educator Center and search for our Wakelet course. It'll take you through setting up your profile, creating a collection, and collaborating with your classroom and every user case you can need in this scenario. So please do share your feedback with us on how you've liked the session, on how you like Wakelet, and we'll do our best to try and help make the platform better for you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Tejas. So that was great. I'm just a huge Wakelet fan. If someone who makes like 15 Wakelets isn't a fan, I don't know who is, because that'd be me. And it's great just to get resources, share resources, and it's been great to work with the Wakelet team. They're wonderful partners, just like the next set of partners, or partner, but people that we're going to be talking about. So we have Francesca Arturi from the Buncee team, and Buncee is another great partner that I think actually Charlie Miller introduced me to the CEO of Buncee, who's Maria Arturi, maybe a year ago. And Buncee also, we did Onenote integration, and then Immersive Reader integration, and then some other integrations. And they've been just an amazing partner to work with. And we have Francesca here from the Buncee team. And Francesca is going to be showing a bunch of cool stuff that Buncee has been doing to help out with remote learning. So Francesca, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Mike. And it is really exciting to be here with you guys. I love meeting all the Microsoft team that was at BET, and some of the Wakelet team. Teijas, we unfortunately did not get to meet in person, but great to virtually connect here. So I will go ahead and share my screen. 1 second. Okay, awesome. So first off, it's great to, as I mentioned, not only connect with the Microsoft team, which you guys have been awesome partners to work with, but everyone who's on this call and who will be watching when on the recording. It's great to connect with you here, and I hope to connect with you guys beyond the call. The Buncee team is always available on Twitter, on Facebook. You guys can always connect with us with any questions you have after I share today. So first off, as Mike mentioned, obviously I'm part of the Buncee team. I'm a school relationship manager at Buncee. I've worked a lot with the US MIEEs and the UK MIEEs as well. But for those of you who don't know what Buncee is, I'll be, of course, sharing what Buncee is. I will share how Buncee is being used for remote learning and how you guys can get started yourself using Buncee for remote learning. And if you already are using Buncee, hopefully you leave with ideas on how you can take what you've already done and implement it into this new remote learning space we find ourselves in. So let me make this Buncee bigger, full screen here. Okay. There we go. So first off, if you do not know what Buncee is, this in itself is a Buncee. So Buncee is a multimedia creation tool. We're a Microsoft for Education partner that is designed for everyone in the schoolhouse. So whether you're a student, an educator, an administrator, you can use Buncee to create. You can see here we have a little animation of the creation canvas. Our goal for educators is to easily pull together multimedia to share with students as a resource or as instructional content. For students, it's a way for them to creatively show what they know. And we work with students K through 12 of varying abilities. This is an anecdote I always love to share, as it really highlights our goal of empowering all students as creators to show what they know. So here on the right was a tweet we received from Tan, an ENL educator in Laos at the time. He had a selectively mute English language learner who had not been able to verbally communicate his understanding throughout the school year. It was a Korean student, so at first I thought it was because of his English speaking skills, but he also wasn't communicating with his Korean peers. So it was really due to high anxiety. Tan found Buncee on a blog, thought to introduce it to the student. And as you can see here, he made an amazing Buncee on the Athenian culture was the project, I believe. But just using our drawing tool and text tool, he had a breakthrough moment in communicating his understanding. And as Tan shared on one of our coffee talks, we have a coffee talk series, which I'd encourage anyone to tune into. It's on our YouTube playlist, but he shared with educator Rochelle Poth that technology for him is a co-teacher in his classroom. So our goal is to be a co-teacher in classrooms to support all students, like this student here, to be able to communicate. So that was just one example of how Buncee is being used or has been used by a student to show what they know. But we've seen Buncee used now in this remote learning space for everything from virtual field trips to resources. I spoke with a principal who received a Buncee from a kindergarten student, just saying hi, talking about what she was doing at home as she had to stay home. So those are just some examples, but I'm gonna make my screen smaller here and show you guys some particular finished Buncees to maybe spark ideas. So this Buncee, as you can see, it's a schedule. It was created by an educator in Minnesota. So she recorded her audio into the Buncee.
Yesterday, I introduced the vocabulary words to you. Today, it's your job to practice.
And recorded a video of herself as well.
Happy Friday! We are going to have some fun today.
So I'll step through all the media tools that are accessible within the Buncee creation canvas, but how we've seen Buncee used as a way to asynchronously connect with students. So they could still see your face, they could hear your voice, and you can create something like this to keep them organized and simply share the link, share in Microsoft Teams. We have a multitude of different ways to share your Buncee, which I'll go over. And we've also been seeing Buncee used as a way to bring levity to a situation right now, which could use a bit of levity. So this was a Buncee made by an assistant principal. She recorded a fun video of herself saying happy birthday and sharing an announcement. So this really is a great way to keep your community engaged and just say hi, as I mentioned, with that kindergarten student, aside from instructional content that you want to share as well. So those are just a few educator-made Buncees. And you kind of got a glimpse of what the media tools offered within the creation canvas are, but these are it's more encompassing of all the tools you'll see on the creation canvas. So we have over 31,000, I believe now, stickers and animations. We're always adding new ones. We get requests all the time. Actually, that educator who made the schedule requested rolling dice animation or rolling die. So we created that. We try to respond to our community, not only for sticker or graphic requests, but as Teijas mentioned, we're always getting feedback from our community and using it to improve the Buncee experience for everybody. So we have all different graphics. We have an emojis library, so you could search in this category for stickers related to different emotions. We built this out with SEL lessons in mind. There's also a web image search. So you could search for photos that are Creative Commons licensed and filtered. You can also upload your own files. There's a Khan Academy video search. You can record your own video and audio, as you saw in that Buncee, and send quiz questions through the Buncee dashboard to students and assess the responses. So besides being a way to bring a lot of media types in to easily share resources with students, having all these choices here allows students to choose the way that they want to communicate. As you saw with that student in Tan's class, he used the drawing and text tool. I've worked with special needs students where they're not able to write. They may not even be able to hold a pencil, but with help, they can drag in a sticker. They could draw a little bit to communicate. So having all the choices there empowers students to communicate as they can. So this is a photo of some of the Buncee team at BET with some of the Microsoft team, and we do have a number of Microsoft integrations as well. And just as a side note, it was awesome to hang out with the Microsoft team at BET and be at the booth and connect with the developers that helped us to integrate these tools into Buncee. So we do integrate with Microsoft Teams. You can share Buncees directly to Teams. You can pin Buncees with tabs in Teams. And we do have fun Buncee messages that you can download as an app to, again, bring a little fun to this time that needs some levity and fun. We have a OneNote integration as well, so you can copy the link of a Buncee and embed it in OneNote. And of course, Immersive Reader, a very, very powerful tool that we have integrated in Buncee. So actually, if I get out of this full screen here, one viewing a Buncee can click the Immersive Reader icon up top, and it will access the text in a Buncee. I was just listening to an educator who was sharing how she uses Immersive Reader not only with her students, but with the families as well. So especially right now when students are home and with their caretakers, if their caretakers can't speak English, they of course can translate using Immersive Reader now, whatever text is in the Buncee, to help their child. And we do have a great video here. I'm not going to play due to time, but the Microsoft team highlighted a school in New York City in Astoria, Queens, where they've been using Buncee and Immersive Reader to empower their students. And I'd encourage you guys to watch that as well. And of course, you did see there were some Buncees in Wakelet when Teijas was sharing his screen. So you can copy the link of a Buncee and put it in Wakelet, and it'll be embedded in that Wakelet. You also can upload Buncees as topics in Flipgrid to have whoever's on the grid respond with a video. So it's kind of just to recap the ways Buncee is being used for remote learning. Sharing resources, lessons with students, empowering students as creators to show what they know, and engaging with the community asynchronously. So we actually have a great feature for this in particular called Buncee Boards. This is an example of a Buncee board. So it's essentially a digital bulletin board where community members, students can pin their Buncees to the board, react to each other's work, comment on each other's work in a moderated environment. And in this case, it was students who were creating Buncees, thanking the heroes. We do have a project coming up that anyone can partake in to have students create Buncees thanking healthcare heroes right now. And so if you're stay tuned on our blog, you'll be able to participate in that. So where do you begin? So we had created a new remote learning hub. You can access this through the Buncee homepage if you go to buncee.com, as well as here in the Educator Center. There are some links under the Engaging Students in Distance Learning apps page, and one links to that remote learning hub. But here you will find resources, ideas. We do hold webinars twice a day, Monday through Friday. And during this time, we are offering accounts at no cost. So you can get Buncee by going to buncee.com, signing up and get access. If you want to click Get Buncee here, we also are offering Buncee for schools to schools and districts right now to support remote learning. So you can click Get Buncee and see more here. But I definitely would encourage you guys to check out the activity ideas. It offers all different ways Buncee is being used right now, including in Teams. So creating class discussions using Buncee and Microsoft Teams, engaging with your colleagues, and there's all different links to how-tos and tutorials in here as well. Another great place to get started right now would be our Ideas Lab, which you can get from either the Buncee homepage, in your account, or that remote learning hub. So this is a library of interactive copyable templates that you can take to send to students. So I can filter by topic area here. Let's say I'm an English teacher at the elementary level. I could scroll here. I could also search by keyword in the top left. And then let's say I find one I like, maybe reviewing for a vocabulary quiz. You click Create This, and it will copy it into your creation canvas. I'm not going to dive into the creation canvas now due to time, but you can always reach out to myself on Twitter, Buncee, or sign up for our webinars for a deeper dive into the creation experience. We also have a couple of courses on the Microsoft Educator Center. One is on using Buncee for digital compositions and authentic audiences. This was built with a literacy educator, so I'd encourage you guys to take a look at that one, as well as using Buncee for blended learning. So those are a couple of great courses to learn a little bit Buncee 101, but also a deeper dive into how you might want to implement Buncee in your instruction. And customer service and supporting our community is something we take really seriously. Our community is, aside from being awesome, they are always giving us feedback. We're always working together. And we are here to support you guys during this remote learning time. So just reach out with any questions, and I look forward to connecting with everybody beyond this call. Oopsies.
Great. Oh,
Okay.
thank you
About.
very much, Francesca.
No problem. I'll stop sharing my
That
screen.
was great to see. What's that?
No, I'm just going to stop presenting.
Oh yeah, sure. And what I'll do now is I'll come back. I'm going to make sure that I put on my Buncee hat here.
Yes, and I do have Buncee colors. Buncee colors.
Let's see if my Control O shared my video or not. I just did a Control Shift O, but you know, I'm going to hope for the best. Now we've got the recap of today's updates. We've got the Wakelet that Teijas showed, the Wakelet, the site that has a lot of the remote learning info. We've got the link that Francesca was just going through with the Buncee for remote learning, and then we've got the Microsoft Education Wakelet of Wakelets that has all the PD and tips and tricks for a bunch of different products that's housed in a nice, beautiful Wakelet. And then today's PowerPoint deck, so all the links, all the slides, all the information will be posted later tonight, and you can access that PowerPoint. It is public. The video will go on to our remote learning playlist. This is our 14th show, so there's lots of other topics that have already been posted. We've been getting a lot of people viewing that online, which has been really great. And then we've got our support link here. So any help you need with Microsoft products, if you're in education, you can go to this link right here and quickly file a support ticket. And then lastly, the next 3 days of remote learning webinars. We've got doing remote professional development. This is our second in that. We had one a couple of weeks ago. We've got Kathy Kavanaugh and Kathy Krasnowski. I think Kathy Krasnowski is both a Wakelet and a Buncee fan too, if I'm not mistaken. And then we've got special education and IEPs. That's going to be with Karen Philhart, who's got a great deal of experience in that area. That's on Thursday. And then on Monday, we've got Jenna Lee. So Jenny Long, Celie Clark, and special guest Justin Chando. Hashtag the Chando Zone. So we've got Jenna Lee and Justin on Monday. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then our whole webinar schedule is posted below right here, so you can find all the webinars that are coming up and past information about them. Thank you to Marilyn and Charles for helping behind the scenes as producers, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.